are they actually terrible? Welcome back to Just Another Football Podcast. This is Premier League Superlatives of the month of August, and I thought of this concept because I saw this tweet from ESPN and how Chelsea are leading the league and all of those stats, but they're 12th, and the connotation is, oh, how can they be so terrible? What's going on? And the fans debate in the comments, right? That's how you do. Well, the tweet, according to FBref, is wrong. Chelsea have 66 shots. They're not top. They're 4th. But are they actually terrible? Look, no, not completely, because they are doing well avoiding shots, and they're doing well getting shots off. 66. That gets them 4th on the table. They're already underperforming what they should score by about 3 goals. They've scored 5 from an XG of 8.3. Robert Sanchez's shot stopping, though, is second lowest in terms of how many he should save, how many he actually conceded. -2.5 in terms of the difference between the goals he conceded and the XG he conceded. So he should concede 2.5 less goals according to the expected amount of goals that he actually received. His save percentage is 63%, which is very low. So it's a problem with goal scoring and a problem with shot stopping, right? Wrong. There is a lot more to it. Let me explain. Now, I'm not going to talk about the £1 billion spending, which they are the worst team in the world in the transfer window. Let's get that clear. But there's a lot more tactical nuances that go into it, and in my opinion, it's limiting their chances of success because there's a lot of structural issues, and a lot of it is down to chemistry, I feel like. Let me explain. It's a back four with Ben Chilwell as left winger. This is weird, but there may be a slight glimmer of hope that this actually is a rational decision to take. Now, Chilwell playing on the left wing when you have Mykhailo Mudryk looks really bad from Mykhailo Mudryk's part. That said, here is what's happening. In a goal kick, it's a back four. So Robert Sanchez has the ball. There's a back four here. And it's a 4-2 build-up, right? So Gallagher and Enzo Fernandez are going to be here. Caicedo is going to float about in that line. Chilwell is hugging the touchline high and wide. Sterling doing the same. If that's in a goal kick, but if they are progressing forward, wait, let me move all of these people forward in the Nottingham Forest half. This is going to take a while. Time. Now, when they progress into the opposition midfield, this is West Ham because that's who they played last. It's a 3-1-6, let's say, with Gallagher being the single pivot. Now, there's several problems here. I think there's the rationale behind this is that Malo Gusto's right-footed on the right and Chilwell's left-footed on the left. And maybe because they are trusted with crossing, the rationale behind this is that Ola Aina will be worried by Gusto. Sterling is gonna make those runs. McKenna's gonna get bothered by him. Caicedo might make those runs into the penalty area, and then you can have a circulation of positions here. Caicedo's done right back before, so Gallagher can have the ball. Enzo Fernandez can float in that, behind behind zone 14, basically receive the ball from Gallagher, and then he can quickly transition and play Caicedo in. Maybe Nicholas Jackson's going to make a run. Ryan Yates might be worried by Caicedo. Nicholas Jackson can make a run, and Enzo Fernandez can play through. There's several options if theoretically you work this out. Gallagher is isolated. Gallagher is not a single pivot. He is an off-the-ball midfielder. He's a box-to-box. Give him that freedom that he had at Crystal Palace during his time there, during his very successful time there. Enzo Fernandez should be the playmaker here. Enzo Fernandez should be the one that is dropping in. And Gallagher and Caicedo, you have a golden opportunity here to play a system of 2-8s. Of 4 of the back, anchor Enzo Fernandez, 2-8s. Or you can play Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo double pivot, and then Gallagher can be the off-the-ball midfielder. With Caicedo, of course, having some of that freedom too. Nicholas Jackson's finishing is obviously a problem, but they have got the chances before. They got the chances using this sort of build-up shape, but it's too complicated. There's no need for Chilwell to be the one playing all the way up high. You can still have Thiago Silva and Levi Colwill playing. In my opinion, I would drop this SE, and then I would bring in Mykhailo Mudryk. Mudryk would play on the left. Chilwell will be playing as part of the back four, as is Gusto. Don't be afraid to get Gusto pushing up high, or Reece James when he's ever fit. And then Caicedo can cover for him. And then it's the beauty of 4-2-3-1, because if Enzo Fernandez is playing next to Caicedo, Gusto's pushing all the way up, Caicedo's covering here, you can get Enzo Fernandez to cover this area, and then Gallagher off the ball as the off-the-ball midfielder making those runs, with Gusto stretching the pitch out wide, Sterling tucking in and worrying McKenna, or whoever that defender is. And Nicholas Jackson can still make those runs. But Mykhailo Mudryk, you're missing out on an opportunity here, in my opinion. If preseason is anything to go by, I went and watched Chelsea play Brighton in preseason at the Link.
2-1 Chelsea. This is a level of football. If we see any of the like from Chelsea this season, we're gonna have a problem. This is insane.
I was really impressed by the system. It was a back four. It was a 4-2-3-1. Obviously, Nkunku is injured, and that hurt them. But now you have Cole Palmer. Maybe you can play the 4-2-3-1 now. Cole Palmer is a good 10. There's no problem with Chilwell himself, in my opinion, being a left winger, but he won't get you attacking output. At the end of the day, there are only two players that are going to get you any form of attacking output that are Sterling and Nicholas Jackson. Sterling's finishing already isn't the greatest. So the hat-trick against Luton, it's Luton. Nicholas Jackson is still, looks like he's still learning the ropes a little bit here. I'm going to be honest. But there's also Noni Madueke and Mykhailo Mudryk that you can use now. Cole Palmer is coming into the side. But this is going to be a learning process. Robert Sanchez has to save more. Nicholas Jackson has to be a better finisher. But now that Cole Palmer is here, his dinner against Forest was nothing special. And in fact, I found him being almost a back-to-goal striker in the last few minutes of that game, which was kind of weird. And maybe it's because they're just pushing for a goal to get something out of it. And Malo Gusto, by the way, he's a great defender. The one time I've seen him live, was in that Chelsea game.
Here comes Mitoma again. Mitoma up against Malo Gusto. Malo Gusto is just having a phenomenal game. You can't help.
And Kaoru Mitoma had a hard time against him at times. It was a great battle. But Malo Gusto won out most times. Maybe that's all they need is a few more games to gel, because this is a brand new squad. It truly is a brand new squad from the one that won the Champions League just 2 years ago. So it's going to take a while. It's going to take some time. And patience, I think. But still, the most disappointing team of the month of August, obviously Chelsea. Just because they're playing Chilwell at left winger. Again, there's no problem with that in theory, but have you not thought of who's actually going to finish the chances, The most impressive team of the month of August is West Ham. West Ham! In our preseason predictions, we were talking about how there's a recruitment crisis at West Ham, and the board and the manager aren't aligning, and it's all going wrong. And can they flirt with relegation? Obviously, that all changed. The win against Brighton is the best you'll see the implementation of David Moyes' tactics. This is so funny. They just want nothing to do with the ball. They play very much in their own half. They don't have a lot of possession. They've had 36.5% of the ball. It's just third bottom. But it's brilliant, especially when Bowen is fit. Oh my God, Mohamed Kudus is going to play as well. Watch West Ham when Mohamed Kudus starts to play. Their highest two players right now in the average positions are their wingers, Bowen and Benrahma. That said, it's gonna be Bowen, and it's gonna be Mohamed Kudus, who is rapid, by the way. James Ward-Prowse has been one of the signings of the window. They have decent height, and you can use that set piece record from him. But man, when Mohamed Kudus starts to play, the amount of counterattacks we're gonna see per game from West Ham against any team that plays any sort of high line or tries to bait the press or anything. Because what they did against Brighton is Brighton tried to lure you into pressing. West Ham didn't press. So Brighton just kept passing and progressing and passing and progressing until none of their players were in their own half at all. It's the form implementation of a counter-attacking system against a team that will try to have you press and play through you. And Chelsea struggled with this. It took a lapse in concentration from the West Ham defenders for Chukwuemeka to get into the half space, get the ball, cut and tied, and score. But like, you're gonna rely on just little lapses of concentration like this to have a chance against them. They've been very, very, very good, to all of our surprise. 4th in the table, undefeated. Keep it up, West Ham. Keep it up. That brings us on to Player of the Month, because Jarrod Bowen was one of the nominees, but I'll give it to Rodri. And that's who I voted for on the Premier League website. My dad was telling me during the Man City Fulham game how Rodri is the best player in the world. And I like that shout, although in my opinion it's still Lionel Messi. But Rodri is not a bad shout at all. Watch Rodri during a Man City game. He will do everything about a midfielder. The physicality, wins the ball back most times. The dribbling, he will one time a game dribble past 2 defenders or avoid 2 challenges, or like just swerve around and skin someone or break an ankle. And goal scoring. He will contribute goals. One of the most technically gifted midfielders that the Premier League have seen. Most disappointing player, we've talked about it before, but Moises Caicedo. Look, it's a sample 4 games, but Caicedo transferring for so much money and then having such bad performances is obviously gonna get him that award. There you go. And then I'm gonna make up an award here because we're kind of Premier League centric, not gonna lie, but I'm gonna give an award to the best non-Premier League player, Jude Bellingham. The dude is 20, and he is the main man for Real Madrid. Do you know how insane this is? The man is having players coming out and saying how he is the quickest to adapt out of everyone they have ever played for Real Madrid. That is crazy. 5 goals already. Carlos Alcaraz is imitating his celebration in the US Open. He's gonna be one of the best players of all time if he keeps it up and if he stays healthy. By the way, I didn't watch the England game today, but apparently Southgate was playing him out wide and played Jordan Henderson all 90 minutes. Yeah, the thinking is off. Now, to end this video, what I would like you to do is hand out your individual August superlatives down below. Best and most disappointing player in team, and best player outside of the Premier League in the month of August. And secondly, I would like you to suggest awards down below. Let us know what other individual awards you'd like to give out. But third, if you were wondering, if you watch or listen to the podcast regularly, we are a podcast. If you're new around here, we have 40-minute episodes coming out every Tuesday, and we have a short king of the week every week that we hand out at the end of every show, because none of us are above 5'7", and we champion our short kings for copium, you know. The Short King of the Month award, I plan to hand that out with the boys, George, Harry, and Fergal. Hopefully whoever of them is available to record on Monday, we will hand out the Short King of the Month. But get your shouts in. Who is your Short King of the Month? It can be a player or manager within the Premier League or otherwise. Get voting. Put your shouts down below. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for the support of the channel. Recently, the Liverpool video got 4,000 views, and we got a bunch of new subscribers. Welcome. Hi. Hello. If you're here until this point, like the video and click the subscribe button and ring that little bell next to the subscription, because I plan to do more of these videos, maybe some of them with the boys. But yeah, I'll see you next episode on Tuesday. All being well, have a lovely time. Enjoy yourselves, enjoy the international break, or take a break from football or whatever it is. And yeah, but have a wonderful time. Cheers.